So if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering if it's possible to drive a motorbike from Bali all the way to Flores Island. And guess what? The answer is yes, you can!
So if you want to do this for yourself and you're looking for a little bit more information on what it's like and how much everything costs, then keep watching.
This is the tickets.
We are actually starting this trip in Lombok, but we know that most of you travelers are probably based in Bali.
Yes, and that's why we're gonna include all the information. How do you start your journey from there?
The first thing you'll need is a bike. You can rent these from the guest house or hostel you're staying at. We paid 50,000 a day for our scooter, and we paid up front for all the days we were away. Make sure you have helmets, the blue card for the bike, and the WhatsApp number for someone from the guest house to contact if anything goes wrong. We left our larger backpacks with our guest house and just took our smaller bags with the essentials.
So now onto the journey. If you're starting in Bali, you need to head to Padang Bai Harbour and get the public ferry to Lombok. This leaves every hour and takes around 4 to 5 hours. It costs 46,000 per person and around 130,000 for the bike.
Once you arrive at Lembah Harbour, we recommend heading down south to Kuta. Accommodation is really cheap and cost us only $5 for a private room with breakfast included. Check out our other videos to find out more about Kuta and what there is to do. Or if you want to do some trekking, you could go north to the majestic Mount Rinjani and the beautiful waterfalls. Either way, your next ferry will be leaving from Kayangan Harbour to Sumbawa.
So we just arrived at the harbour. The bike and 2 people ticket was only 55,000, which is around $4. It's pretty cool. So now just waiting for another boat to arrive so we can get on.
This also leaves every hour and takes less than 2 hours to arrive.
So now you're in Sumbawa. Your itinerary whilst you're here is up to you, but we found that tourism in Sumbawa is pretty much non-existent. This is ideal for anyone who wants to explore an island more off the beaten path. So we are heading to Sumbawa Besar for our first night here in Sumbawa. It's about a 2-hour drive from the harbour where we are now. So we just want to smash that out and get there, and hopefully when we do get there we will be couch surfing, which will be a fun little adventure.
Let's hit the road.
Once we arrived in Sumbawa Besar, we couch surfed with an amazing girl called Pooja, who told us so much about Sumbawa and showed us around the old palace in the city.
So we were just editing some videos in our couchsurfing host's house, and I just looked up through the door and there's this. There's just a random cow came up to eat some grass very randomly. Hello. Hello. Are you friendly? See if I can stroke the little cow. There we go.
If you're looking for accommodation in Sumbawa Besar, the cheapest we found was Sakura Homestay, and it's well worth the money. It only cost 150,000 for a room. From here, our next stop was Dompu.
So we're driving, and then apparently the tree just fell down, so it's blocked the traffic.
Here we stayed at Hotel Anisa. Although pricey for budget traveling at 250k, it was much better than other options in the area.
Hello. You can just drive across the market in case you want some bananas or fish. They just have it right here.
From Dompu, we headed to Sape, the last stop in Sumbawa where you get the ferry to Flores.
So we're just driving, minding our own business. Beautiful sunny day, and then before you know, there's a massive storm behind us. Things are getting blown away, and literally it's too dangerous to drive. So we're just gonna sit here in this petrol station and hope it's gonna go fast really quick. Oh, the good thing about the rains in here, it doesn't last very long. So we just arrived to Sape. We got our hotel room for, how much was it, Olivia?
200 Indonesian rupiah.
200,000. 200,000. The walls are literally wet, and there's an aircon, but it's just blowing hot air. So yeah, overall the experience is pretty intense. Sape though is only one night, and also guys, this is like the best hotel in the whole of the town. You're probably not gonna find anything better.
Our ferry to Flores is at 9 o'clock in the morning. It cost us 250,000 overall for the bike and 2 people. The ferry from Sape to Labuan Bajo leaves once a day at 9 AM and arrives around 4 PM. We recommend going to the port for around 8 o'clock to make sure you get the tickets. So we have finally arrived in Labuan Bajo after a very long ferry ride. Definitely download some movies for that because it is very long.
7 hours.
We're staying in One Love Flores homestay. It's pretty cheap, it's 140,000 for one night, so it's better than other places.
Yeah, the place is really clean actually.
Yeah.
It's I just love it here. And the funny thing is, because the owner, we know the owner. The guy was like, oh, I think we met you before, and we're like, really? And then it's like, apparently it's the guy from Gili Islands from our last video in Lombok last season. So it's where we were DJing, and yeah, the guy just recognized us. So basically he runs the place here now. Like, what a coincidence. That's so crazy.
We hope that you found this video useful when it comes to how to get to Flores on a bike, all the prices of the ferries and where to stay when you're doing this trip. And we hope that you do this trip too, because it was really fun. It was a bit challenging, but
the best experience ever, I think.
I enjoyed it overall.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see what we're up to in Flores, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next journey.